Hi Reddit. I'm Mike. I'm 25, and I think I just found out exactly where I stand in my relationship. Somewhere below my girlfriend's dog, plants, and definitely her best friend. Last Saturday, we were hosting game night. Chill setup. A few friends, drinks, dumb jokes, you know the vibe. Jenna, my girlfriend, 24, was there, obviously. And so was Logan, 30, her best friend. Logan's always there. Not kidding. Dude's basically a roommate without the rent. Quick context. Jenna and I have been dating for a year. Logan's been in her life since she was 19. They met at work. She swears up and down they're like siblings. But I've seen how he looks at her, and how she lights up when he walks into a room. It's not nothing. Not to me. So, we're playing some what-if game. Dumb icebreaker stuff. Then someone asks, if your partner and your best friend were both hanging off a cliff, and you could only save one, who do you save? Everyone laughs. People start throwing out sarcastic answers. Then Jenna just goes, with zero hesitation. Logan. Room. Goes. Silent. I legit thought she was joking, waiting for the punchline. But no. She just casually sips her drink like she picked a pizza topping. So I go, wait, what? She shrugs. Logan. I've known him longer. I laughed. Not because it was funny. Because what else do you do when your girlfriend says she'd let you die? You're serious? Mike, don't be weird. It's just a stupid question. Then Logan chuckles and says, relax, man. I'd save her too. That's when I knew I was done being the punchline in my own relationship. After everyone left, I brought it up. I wasn't going to let that slide. Jenna, what the hell was that? She acts like I'm the one being dramatic. It was a joke. You're overthinking it. No, you didn't laugh. You didn't even blink. You straight up said you'd save him. She rolls her eyes. I've known Logan for years. He's my person. Cool. Then why are you with me? That hit. She got quiet. Then she said something that still rings in my ears. If you're going to make me choose between you and Logan, don't. Because I'll always choose him. And just like that, I knew. I wasn't a priority. I wasn't even in the running. That night, I stared at the ceiling wondering what else I didn't know. Because no normal girlfriend says that. And no normal guy lets it slide. After she hit me with the I'll choose Logan over you line like it was no big deal, I knew something was off. Not just a bad joke. Not just a weird moment. Something deeper. And I needed answers. So when she left for the gym, like she always does at 7 p.m. sharp, I went digging. I didn't even have to touch her phone. She had an old iPad still synced to her messages. Just sitting in our kitchen junk drawer, next to expired batteries and dead pens. Still worked. Still logged in. Jackpot. And yeah, maybe it's messed up to snoop. But at that point, I didn't care. I wasn't about to sit around and keep playing dumb. The first thing I opened was her message thread with Logan. And right out the gate, right away, I knew I wasn't crazy. This wasn't just best friend talk. This was, I wish I could have you, but I can't say it out loud, energy. Every single text. Logan would text her late at night, dropping stuff like, you'd be so much happier with someone who actually gets you. Can't believe you picked Mr. Boring over me. One night, that's all I'd need to make you forget him. And she wasn't shutting it down. She was laughing, sending hearts, flirting back. You're so bad. You're impossible, lol, but maybe. Don't tempt me. I'm already in trouble. That last one, sent while she was laying next to me in bed, literally. I scroll more. I felt my pulse in my teeth. They'd been like this for months. Back when we had our first vacation together, she was texting him that she missed their talks and that I didn't really understand her like Logan did. I saw pictures too. Not nudes or anything, but close, intimate selfies. One of her wearing his hoodie. Captioned, mine now. She never even asked to borrow my hoodie. Hell, she barely posted us on Instagram. And the name she had him saved under, Lolo. I've just been Mike this whole time. Not even an emoji. I put the iPad down and just sat there. Felt like my chest was full of bricks. Like I just walked into the middle of a joke, and the punchline was me. When she got home, I didn't say a word. I was still trying to decide, do I confront her? Do I confront him? Do I burn it all down? One thing was clear. This wasn't just harmless flirting. This was betrayal, served slow. And I was done playing nice. The next day I couldn't even sit still. I wasn't angry. I was beyond that. I was wired, cold, focused. I knew I couldn't just let slide. Jenna was lying to me. Sure, but Logan? That guy had no reason to hide behind excuses. He was coming after my relationship, full speed, and laughing while doing it. So I went to see him. He lives in this dusty apartment above a vape shop. Real classy. I parked outside, took a minute to breathe, then walked up. Didn't even knock politely. I banged on the door like I was the landlord with eviction papers. Logan opened it with that same smug face I've seen too many times. Shirtless, of course. Like he always wants people to know he lifts. He didn't even flinch when he saw me. "Mike," he said like we were buddies. "Didn't expect you." I stepped in without asking. He moved aside, but didn't look surprised, just amused. "You got a minute?" I asked, already knowing I wasn't leaving until this was handled. "Sure," he said, walking toward the tiny kitchen. "Beer." "Not here to drink, Logan." He shrugged and popped one open for himself. I didn't waste time. "You and Jenna. What the hell is going on?" He gave me this lazy smile like I just asked what show he's watching. "Nothing's going on. We're friends, man. Chill." Wrong answer. I read the texts. That shut him up. His eyes flicked for a second. Fast, sharp, like he didn't expect me to say it out loud. I kept going. "You've been texting her stuff like one night with me, and you'd forget him. You think that's normal between friends?" He took a long sip of beer, leaned back on the counter, and said, "What do you want me to say, Mike?" She responds, doesn't she? I'm not forcing her. That hit me harder than I expected. Because he wasn't wrong. "She's my girlfriend," I said. "You knew that. And you kept pushing. Every chance you got." He raised an eyebrow. And she kept replying, "Maybe that's something you should take up with her." I swear I almost lost it right there. But I held it together. Just barely. "I don't care how long you've known her," I said. "If you respected her at all, or me, you'd have backed off. But you didn't. Because you like being the guy who ruins things." He didn't argue. Just stared at me, calm as ever. Like this was fun for him. Then he goes, "Let's be real, Mike. You were never gonna last. Jenna gets bored. You were just the safe option." I left before I did something I regret. But I wasn't done. Not even close. Because if Jenna thought she could play both sides and walk away clean, she was about to find out exactly what I was made of. The second I left Logan's apartment, I knew exactly what I was going to do. I wasn't going to yell. I wasn't going to argue. I was going to show her the receipts and watch her try to squirm out of them. I waited until Jenna got home that evening. She walked in like it was any other day, kicked off her shoes, asked what I wanted for dinner, totally oblivious. I didn't even answer, just sat at the table with her iPad in front of me. She gave me a weird look. "What's that for?" "You left this synced to your messages," I said, flipping the screen toward her. So I read them. All of them. Her face went pale instantly. She didn't say anything, just stood there like she'd forgotten how to move. I tapped the screen. "Here's the part where Logan says you'd forget about me after one night with him. And here's where you said, 'Don't tempt me.' You want to explain that?" Still nothing. So I kept going. "How about this? You get me in ways Mike never does." That was a nice one. Real sweet. She finally opened her mouth. "Mike, it's not what you think." "Cut the crap," I snapped. "You flirt with him. Constantly. You let him trash me. You act like I'm just some temporary placeholder while you keep him in your back pocket." "That's not true," she said, sitting down like her legs finally gave out. "We've always been like that. It's just how we joke." "No. That's how people who have unresolved feelings talk. That's how cheaters warm up before they pull the trigger." Her eyes welled up. "I didn't cheat on you. Not physically," I said. "But you sure as hell weren't loyal." She looked down at her hands, then back at me. "Why were you reading my messages anyway? That's a total invasion of privacy." That stopped me cold. She really went there. "You're serious right now?" I said. "I find out you've been playing two sides, and your first move is to flip it on me." "You went through my stuff," she repeated. "That's not okay." I laughed. Not because it was funny, because it was insane. "I caught you lying, and you want to turn this into my fault?" She didn't answer, just wiped a tear and whispered, "I didn't mean for it to go this far." That's when I stood up. "Yeah, well, it did." I left the iPad on the table, went into the bedroom, grabbed a gym bag, and started throwing my stuff in. I wasn't going to play house with someone who'd already emotionally checked out. She followed me in. "Mike, can we just talk about this?" I turned to her. "No, we're done talking. You made your choice the second you let that loser think he had a chance." Her face crumbled, but I didn't stay to watch the waterworks. I needed space, time, clarity. What I didn't know. She wasn't finished. Not even close. After I left Jenna's place that night, I crashed at my buddy Trevor's apartment. Just needed one night to breathe. I thought I was done with the drama. Thought the worst was behind me. Spoiler, I was wrong. The next afternoon, I was halfway through a burger when Trevor glanced at the window and said, "Yo, is that Jenna?" I looked up. Not just Jenna. Logan was with her, standing outside the apartment, like some kind of messed up couple. Jenna in tears, Logan looking like he just rolled out of a smug factory. I walked to the door, opened it just enough to make eye contact. "What the hell are you doing here?" She stepped forward. "Mike, please. We need to talk." "You brought him. He just drove me." "I don't care. You don't show up at my door with the dude you emotionally cheated on me with and ask to talk like we're cool." Logan didn't say a word, just stood behind her, arms crossed, trying to look important. I looked at him. "What? You think you're her emotional support animal now?" That hit. He gave me this tight smile. "I'm just here to make sure she's okay." "Yeah, because you've been doing such a great job at that," I said, feeding her lines, pushing boundaries, trashing me behind my back. Jenna jumped in. "Mike, stop. I didn't come here to fight. I came here to apologize." I raised an eyebrow. "Then do it. But you've got 60 seconds before I shut this door." She looked down, then back at me. "I messed up. I didn't realize how bad it looked until you put it in front of my face. I never wanted to hurt you. I just got caught up in something that felt familiar." "Familiar?" I repeated. "You mean your backup plan standing next to you?" She didn't respond, just kept blinking like she was trying to force the tears out harder. "I'm not here to take him from you," she said. "I just want to fix this." Logan snorted behind her. That's when I snapped. "You think this is fixable? You think I'm going to forget everything I read, everything I saw? You two are a joke. You deserve each other." That stung. Her face dropped. Then Logan finally opened his mouth. "You're just mad you lost." "Lost?" I said, stepping out the door now. "This isn't a game, dude. But if it was, congrats. You win the prize. A lying girlfriend and a future full of trust issues. Enjoy that." He started saying something, but I shut the door in his face. Hard. Trevor was sitting on the couch, watching the whole thing. "Dude, that was brutal." "Yeah," I said, "but not enough." I knew I needed closure. I needed this chapter closed for good. And to do that, I had to do something Jenna didn't expect. Expose the truth. Publicly. After Jenna and Logan showed up at my place like they were walking into an intervention, I knew I couldn't just walk away quietly. She was still trying to spin it like some emotional confusion. And Logan? He acted like he'd scored the winning touchdown. Screw that. So I did what people like Jenna hate most. I told the truth. Loudly. Where everyone could see it. We had a group chat. Me, Jenna, a bunch of our mutuals. College friends, couple friends, her sister, Logan, obviously the whole crew. Usually just dumb memes and plan coordination. But I wasn't using it for brunch talk. I sat down, pulled up the iPad screenshots, and picked the most incriminating ones. No need to go overboard, just enough to make things crystal. Then I dropped them in the chat with one message. In case anyone's wondering why Jenna and I are done, here's a quick highlight reel of her emotional affair with Logan, who, by the way, is standing right next to her as she begs me to talk. Enjoy. And I left it at that. It took about 12 seconds before the typing bubbles started popping up. Jenna, Mike WDF. This is private. Her sister, Ava. You told me nothing was going on with Logan. Are you kidding me? Josh, our mutual friend. Wow, this is brutal. I had no idea it was like that. Then Jenna again. Mike, take this down. Please. This isn't how we handle things. I replied, no, this is exactly how we handle liars. With receipts. Then the chat exploded. Ava fully turned on her. I defended you to Mom last week. Told her you weren't messing around. And this is what you were hiding. Logan had the nerve to reply with, this should have stayed between them. I jumped in one last time. Funny, Logan. You didn't seem to mind getting between us when it was behind my back. After that, silence. For a while. A few people left the chat. Others just stopped responding. Jenna didn't message again that night. Neither did Logan. But my phone was blowing up privately. A couple of friends called me. One even came over with beer. Said he always felt something was off with Logan, but didn't want to stir the pot. The craziest message came from Jenna's mom. She DM'd me and said, I'm sorry for what she did to you. You didn't deserve that. Didn't expect that one. I wasn't trying to ruin Jenna's life. I just wanted the mask off. She played innocent while Logan took shots at me behind closed doors. Now they both knew the curtains were down. And here's the kicker. Next morning, Jenna texted me again. You didn't have to humiliate me. I still love you. I stared at the screen for a long time. Love? No. That ship sailed when she chose Logan every time it mattered. And I wasn't done yet. 3 days after the group chat bomb went off, I got a message from Logan. Didn't expect that. It was short. Hey man, can we talk? Just you and me. No drama. I stared at the screen like he'd grown a second head. Talk. After everything. After months of sneaking around my relationship like some parasite. But a part of me wanted it. Wanted to look him in the eye and ask, what the hell made you think this was okay? So I texted back. Fine. One time. Neutral spot. You name it. He picked some chain coffee place. Typical. I got there early, sat at a corner table, and waited. Logan walked in 5 minutes late, wearing a stupid denim jacket and sunglasses like he was famous or something. He sat down across from me. No handshake. No smile. Just that same cool guy energy he always throws around like cheap cologne. I know you're pissed, he started. Wow, you think? I said. Was it the screenshots or the part where you showed up to my place with her? He sighed. Look, I didn't mean for things to go this far. You meant every message you sent her. Don't backpedal now. I was joking, man. We've always talked like that. Yeah? Then why didn't she show me those messages? Why did she hide it? He didn't answer. I leaned forward. Let's stop playing the oops, it got messy game. You knew what you were doing. You liked the attention. You liked feeling like you were still her number one. His jaw tightened. She was confused. She was lying. To me. And if you were actually her friend like you claim, you would have told her to cut it out, not fed the fire. He sat back, arms crossed. You don't get it. Jenna and I, we've been through a lot. There's history. There's also a line. And you jumped over it with both feet. Then he said the one thing that pushed me over the edge. I think you overreacted. It wasn't emotional cheating. It was just complicated. I laughed. Loudly. People in a cafe looked over. Logan, let me make it simple. You don't get to redefine betrayal just because it fits your ego. He shifted, uncomfortable for the first time. I kept going. You want to feel like a hero? Go for it. But don't come here acting like you're the victim in this story. You had a front row seat to my relationship, and instead of respecting it, you took a sledgehammer to it. He opened his mouth, then closed it again. No comeback. I stood up. This isn't a conversation. This is closure. For me. Then I walked out. Left him sitting there with his overpriced coffee and that dumb look on his face. I didn't look back. Didn't need to. Because for the first time since all this started, I felt clear. But the calm didn't last long. 2 nights later, Jenna showed up again. This time, with a suitcase. It was around 9:30 p.m. I was just getting out of the shower when I heard the knock. 3 sharp bangs. Like whoever it was wasn't here to be polite. I opened the door with a towel still around my shoulders, and there she was, Jenna. In a hoodie, no makeup, puffy eyes, and a suitcase rolling behind her. I froze. She didn't even wait for me to speak. I left him, she said. It took me a second to process. You what? Logan. I moved out. We were fighting nonstop. I couldn't take it anymore. I just stared at her. And you decided what? You're moving in here. No, she said quickly. I just need somewhere to crash for a night. I'm not asking for anything else. Jenna, what are you doing? She looked down. Everything's messed up. I thought I knew what I wanted, and I didn't. Logan isn't who I thought he was. No kidding. She sighed. He kept throwing the group chat thing in my face. He said I embarrassed him. Made him look stupid. Like, dude, maybe don't text your best friend's girl weird flirty garbage for 6 months. I raised an eyebrow. So you admit it was wrong? I admit all of it was wrong. I made a mess. And now I don't know where to go. That part hit me weird. Because Jenna's always been the type to have backup plans, safety nets. She doesn't land somewhere without a cushion. So I said what was on my mind. Where are your parents? Won't take me in. Not after what happened with Ava. Her sister. Who, by the way, completely turned on Jenna after the screenshots. Any friends? They all think I'm a traitor. Everyone took your side. Good. I leaned against the doorframe. And now you want to stay here. She looked up at me. One night. That's all. Please. I won't lie. I considered slamming the door. But part of me wanted to see where this was going. So I let her in. One night. Couch only. She didn't say much. Just curled up under a blanket and stared at the ceiling. I went to bed with the door locked. At 2 a.m., I woke up to footsteps outside my room. Then a knock. Mike, she whispered. Can I talk to you? I opened the door a crack. She looked like she'd been crying. I had this whole idea, she said, that if I showed you how bad it's gotten, maybe we could fix things. Maybe you'd see I made a mistake and I still care. I didn't answer. She stepped back. I know I messed up, but I'm not here to just say sorry. I'm here to ask if you'd even consider starting over. That was the moment. I could have said something. Anything. Instead, I just closed the door. Because I already knew my answer. I thought closing the door on Jenna that night would be the end of it. I gave her the couch. I gave her one night. I figured she'd leave in the morning, maybe text some dramatic goodbye later, and that would be it. But Jenna doesn't go out quietly. The next morning, I woke up, stepped into the living room, and the suitcase was still there. She was in the kitchen making coffee like we were a happy couple again. My hoodie on, singing under her breath. I stopped cold. Jenna, what are you still doing here? She turned around, smiled like nothing was wrong. I figured I'd hang around a bit, get my head together. Job search. Maybe we could talk more. No, I said immediately. We're not doing this. I'll let you stay one night. You're not staying longer. She blinked like I just slapped her. Mike, come on. It's not like I have anywhere to go. Not my problem. You blew that bridge up with a flamethrower. Her voice cracked. You really don't care, do you? I stared at her. You're the one who didn't care, Jenna. You chose Logan. Repeatedly. And now you're shocked. I don't want to play house with you again. She got quiet. Packed her stuff. I thought, finally, she's getting it. Except she wasn't. 2 hours later, I got a call from my landlord. Hey Mike, everything all right? Got your message about adding a second tenant to the lease. Just wanted to confirm before I process anything. I nearly dropped the phone. What message? They read it to me. An email from me, asking to add Jenna to the lease again. She even attached a photo of her ID. Said it was all cleared with me. I hung up without another word and called Jenna. She picked up on the second ring like she was expecting it. What? Did you? Do? Oh, come on, she said. I was just trying to find a way to stay close. I thought if you saw I was serious. You forged my name. I cut in. You pretended to be me. It's not a big deal, Mike. You could just say yes, and it's done. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. You don't get it, do you? This isn't love. This is obsession, and I want nothing to do with it. You'll forgive me eventually, she said. You always do. That chilled me. Because no, I wouldn't. I texted my landlord immediately, told them to ignore everything, flagged the message as fake. Then I blocked Jenna. Phone, email, everything. But I knew it wasn't over. Someone like her doesn't just disappear. So I decided to end it on my terms. After Jenna tried to fake her way back into my apartment, literally impersonating me to the landlord, I knew there was no salvaging anything. No civil conversations. No, maybe someday closure. She crossed every line that mattered. So I did what I should have done weeks ago. I cut her out completely. I wasn't just blocking her on my phone. I went full purge. Social media? Gone. Mutual friend group chat? Left it and started a new one with people who actually had my back. I messaged my landlord to flag her name permanently. And just in case, I installed a ring cam on my front door. She didn't take it well. 2 days later, I got a knock. Not from her, but from her mom. Yeah, Jenna sent her mother to talk some sense into me. The poor woman stood at my door, visibly uncomfortable, holding a Tupperware container. Jenna's really not doing well, she said softly. She told me everything that happened. Did she also tell you she tried to fake a lease agreement and move back into my apartment behind my back? Her face dropped. I didn't know that part, she said. Yeah, there's a lot she conveniently leaves out. I took the Tupperware because, hey, lasagna is lasagna, and told her gently that I wish her family well, but Jenna was no longer my concern. That should have been the end of it. But Jenna had one more play. She posted a massive apology story on Instagram. A whole slideshow, pictures of us, sappy captions, some piano music in the background. She tagged me in every slide. It looked sweet on the surface, until you realized it was filled with subtle digs at me. Phrases like, I hope you heal enough to love again, and sometimes the person you love the most has the coldest heart. People started messaging me again. Dude, did you see her story? She's making it look like you ghosted her. She's crying on camera, man. I'd had enough, so I made one post. Just one. A screenshot of the fake email she sent to the landlord, with her full name in the sender field. Captioned, for everyone wondering why I cut ties, this is why. I don't hate her. I just finally chose myself. That was it. I didn't need sympathy. I didn't need people to take sides. I just wanted the truth to have the last word, and it did. After that, Jenna deleted her story. Went private. Disappeared from everyone's radar. No texts. No pop-ups. Nothing. Peace. At last. It took a hell of a ride to get here. Betrayal, manipulation, the full circus. But I walked out of it with something better than revenge. Clarity. I didn't lose Jenna. I got rid of her. See you later.